Hi students, good morning everyone. I hope you all are well and good. I believe that everyone make use of this valuable time by studying the subject at the same time. Stay safe at home during this pandemic period. Okay students, now let's start our third session. Now we are going to enter into a new topic in geography, water resources. Water resources. Content, sources, surface water and groundwater. Need for conservation, conservation practices, rainwater harvesting and its importance, irrigation, its importance and methods. What do you mean by surface water? Surface water is available on the surface of the earth in the form of rivers, lakes, ponds and canals. Rivers are the most important source of surface water. Our major rivers are Ganga and Brahmaputra. Next, groundwater. What do you mean by groundwater? The part of rainwater that seeps through the cracks and crevices into the ground is called groundwater. The distribution of groundwater is very uneven in India. Next, what do you mean by irrigation? Irrigation is the process of supplying water to crops by artificial measures such as canals, wells, tube wells, lakes from the existing natural sources of water like rivers, tanks, ponds or groundwater. Is a 2 mark question. Next, factors required for development of irrigation. First factor, the soils of Indo-Gangetic plains, one of the most fertile land in the world and very soft with gentle slopes. This makes the job of digging canals and wells easy. Second one, in peninsular India, hard rocks are difficult to dig and rivers are seasonal. Hence, in this region, tank irrigation is more common. Now we can see through some of the definitions. Fertilization. It is the de-injection of fertilizers, soil amendments and other water-soluble products into an irrigation system. Second one, leaching. All these are 2 marks. It is natural process by which water-soluble substances such as calcium, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. are washed out from soil due to heavy rain. Third one, perennial canals. The canals which supply water throughout the year. Fourth one, inundation cannons. The canals that are taken out directly from the rivers during floods without any regulating system like weirs and barrages. Weirs means low head dam and barrages and impervious barrier which is constructed across the river to raise the water level. An impervious barrier which is constructed across a river to raise the water level. That is the weirs. Weirs and barrages at their head to regulate the flow of water. Next one, salt effervescence. The migration of salt from subsoil to the surface of a canal is known as salt effervescence. Land suffering from this problem becomes useless for cultivation. Sixth one, aquifer. An aquifer is an underground layer of water bearing permeable rock. It acts as reservoirs of ground. Seventh one, rainwater harvesting. The activity of collecting rainwater directly or recharging it into the ground to improve groundwater storage in the aquifer is called rainwater harvesting. Eighth one, rooftop rainwater harvesting. Collecting rainwater over rooftops and channelizing through PVC pipes into the underground pits, sump wells or bore wells. Ninth one, multi-purpose river valley project. A river valley project that serves many purposes at the same time. Example, hydroelectric generation, navigation and fishing, etc. 10th one, water logging. Water logging is mainly the result of increased water table and it occurs due to excessive or intensive irrigation in poorly drained soil where water cannot penetrate deeply and the root zone of the plant gets flooded with water. The two methods of irrigation, what are they? Primitive method of irrigation. Second one, modern method of irrigation. Primitive method of irrigation. First one is canal irrigation, tank irrigation, well irrigation, tube well irrigation. Modern method of irrigation in this, first one, sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, bamboo irrigation system. First one, means of irrigation, canal irrigation. The conditions necessary for digging canal. What are the conditions? A, low level relief with deep fertile soil. B, the water from these rivers is stored by building a dam or a weir across the rivers. These 2 points carries 2 marks. Advantages and disadvantages of canal irrigation. Inundation cannons. Advantages. Advantages, easily and cheaply built. Disadvantage, uncertainty of water supply. Advantage, they are useful in controlling floods. Disadvantage, these canals can be used only during floods. Next one, perennial canals. Advantages. As these canals serve throughout the year, agricultural production in the areas of less or uncertain rainfall has increased. Disadvantages. To save overflooding, it is necessary to line the canals with bricks and mortar, which is expensive. Farmers may have to pay tax for using it. Areas. The surface of the northern plains is flat and soft, hence easy to dig. But in south, the surface is rocky, hence difficult to dig. Second one, means of irrigation. That is tank irrigation. First canal irrigation, second tank irrigation. Its conditions necessary for digging canals is: peninsular India receives rain by monsoon winds. Hence, these tanks collect water during rainy season and help in raising water table to be used in dry season. Its advantages and disadvantages. First one, it is difficult to build canals in Deccan Plateau as they cover large areas, whereas the tank occupy less area. Its disadvantage. Tank occupy large area of land which could be used for farming. Second point, tank water can be used for domestic purpose. Disadvantage, tanks are non-perennial and may dry up during summer. Its areas, South India, mostly in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Tamil Nadu. Third, well irrigation. Means of irrigation is well irrigation. Its condition necessary for digging canals. A. The high water table or groundwater should be available. B. The ground area should have soft rocks. Now the advantages and disadvantages of well irrigation. First one, it is cheaper to construct as compared to canals and tanks. Its disadvantage, the surface wells are not deep enough, hence they may dry up during summer. Second one, wells have simple technology and are economical. Disadvantage, they can irrigate only a small area. Now the areas of the well irrigation. Northern plains, most popular in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab and Bihar. Fourth one, tube well irrigation. Means of irrigation is tube well irrigation. Conditions necessary for digging canals. First condition, water table should be high with perennial water supply. B. Cheap hydroelectric power required to draw water from the tube well. Now tube well irrigation's advantages and disadvantages. First advantage, tube wells can irrigate a large area as compared to surface wells. Disadvantage, the farmer has to spend money or electricity or diesel. Second advantage, tube wells are very useful during drought conditions when surface wells dry up. Disadvantage, this source of irrigation cannot be used in areas of brackish groundwater. Brackish water. What do you mean by brackish water? Salt water plus fresh water mixed together. It is salter than fresh water but not as salty as sweet water. This is called brackish groundwater. Now we will move on to the modern methods of irrigation. In the modern methods of irrigation, the means of irrigation, first one is sprinkler irrigation. Its advantages and disadvantages. A. Sprinkler irrigation is the best method of conservation of water. Disadvantage, water must be free from sand, debris and salt. B. Chemical and fertilizer application can be easily used in this irrigation. Disadvantage, water application efficiency under sprinkler irrigation is strongly affected by the direction of wind. Second means of irrigation is drip irrigation. In the modern methods of irrigation, drip irrigation. Its advantages and disadvantages. First one, fertilizer and nutrient loss is decreased due to localized and reduced leaching. Disadvantage, initial cost is more than overhead systems. Second advantage, water application efficiency is high if managed correctly. Disadvantage, the sun can affect the tubes used for drip irrigation. The third means of irrigation is bamboo irrigation system. Its advantages and disadvantages. A. It does not need any fuel or power, hence it is economical. It can be disadvantage. The bamboo begins to rot in rain, so the whole network needs to be rebuilt after 2 to 3 years. One more advantage, it can be implemented in regions where bamboo is easily available. Now we'll move to the following steps are necessary for water conservation. This carries 3 marks for all these 3 points. First factor, developing water saving technology. Second one, preventing water pollution. Third, promoting watershed development, rainwater harvesting, water recycling and reuse. The following steps are necessary for water conservation is very important. All these 3 points you have to study. Objectives of rainwater harvesting. This also is very important. All these 3 points. First point, recharging the groundwater and raising its level. Second point, checking the rainwater from becoming polluted. Third, meeting the demands of water requirement in dry season. Next we will move on to the advantage and importance of rainwater harvesting. In this advantage and importance of rainwater harvesting, you have to study 5 points out of this. Rainwater harvesting improves the quality of groundwater by diluting salinity. Second point, it does not cause pollution and is environment friendly. Third point, it is cost effective and easily affordable. Third point, it reduces soil erosion. Fifth point, it improves soil moisture. Sixth point, the rainfall water can be stored and used till the next rainfall. I hope everyone are clear with this today's topic and notes which I taught you. Kindly go through all the covered topics and be thorough before we start the fourth session by next week. And also make use of his notes wisely. Be talented always. God will help you surely. Okay students, we'll meet again in the next session. Thank you. Take care.